Wanted to talk about war. War is a fact of life. It's been with us since we've been here. And family against family, clan against clan, tribe against tribe, nation against nation, empire against empire. And it's a never-ending thing. After World War I, and then again after World War II, Western civilization decided to try to do away with war. And we had the League of Nations, the United Nations, and that was all well and good, except even within that there were problems to be ironed out. We have the European Union, which is also an attempt to Europe has always been at each other, all the countries, and so have been at each other's throat. So that was originally an attempt to get them all trading together, and that's under the supposition that if everybody's trading together, free trade, and making money, then they're not going to necessarily go to war. But again, if you study history, that's not a given. The other side, as someone once said, also always has a vote. And many times very advanced civilizations thought they were buying peace. They were paying the Vikings or the Scythians or the Arabs or, and whoever. The Persians paid Greek mercenaries. The Chinese paid the Mongols, and you go down, there's a huge long list of people trying to buy their way to peace. And that will work for a little while. But the other side always wants more. And they always want what you have, and they may not necessarily know how to maintain what you have, but they'll take what they can get ultimately. So one historian once said the civilization that is most advanced and efficient at killing is the one that's always on top, and that's paraphrasing. And a lot of people are going to disagree with that because I think a lot of people want at heart to live together and so forth. But even under Plato's Utopia, there was a warrior class, and that warrior class protected the rulers and everybody else. And you always have to have that, and you can't make the warrior class reflect your sensibilities, the peaceful sensibilities. And you're always going to have that. Once you start infecting your military with peace at any cost, or, and this is interesting to me, after World War II, the number one country in the world was the United States of America. I mean, without question, without fail, we had the best military, the best economy, and we had this huge separation between us and even the Soviet Union and everybody else. The Soviet Union was in the game, so to speak, because they were willing to sacrifice everything for an ideology. And to an extent we were too. But we were so far ahead, we were able, with the drafted military, to maintain an order to the world. We maintained the seaways. We could do free trade, so forth and so on. And Eisenhower, after NATO was established by Truman, and with help from, actually George Marshall and Dean Acheson were the primary architects of that. NATO was a primary, with the muscle of the United States, arbiter of free trade throughout the world. And we basically stayed ahead of the Soviet Union, and we maintained an arsenal of democracy, so to speak, during that time. but we were always ahead of everybody else. Rome was like that for a while. The Chinese Empire in their part of the world were like that for a while. England, controlling 25% of the world, was like that for a while. They kept things open, they kept the balance of powers, and so forth and so on. But there's always the other side has a vote. And if you lose that edge, which the United States is in the process of doing that right now, and we have been for several decades. Eisenhower, when he left office, warned us about the, quote, military-industrial complex, unquote. And we've been fighting little wars for decades and not winning them because we don't have the will to win them. In some cases, we don't really want to. But we've been able to do that because we've been so far ahead of everybody else. So we've had this massive lead in an economy and in the military, and we've had people willing, since we've gone to an all-voluntary military, we've had people willing to put themselves on the line, to go out there and do what they were told was needed to be done to maintain our safety and our economy. And we've had people who have hated the military because they have done that. Well, the professional military lived up to that, but now the military evidently is being eaten up by that soft Ivy League complacency of we're here and we'll always be here. And we won't always be in front. Unless you maintain that edge, you will never be in front. And I'm going to quote from an old drill instructor thing, which it's something to remember. You have to remember the 7 P's. Proper, prior, planning prevents piss poor performance. And we've seen that in our diplomacy, now in our businesses, in our military. We are not planning. We are not planning. We are not for the contingencies. If everything doesn't go our way, and like Mike Tyson said, you have a great plan. When you get in the ring, everything, and it's the same thing about war planning. You're going to go in with a great plan. The other side has a vote. And that great plan may fall apart in the first few hours. You had, by God, better be prepared for everything that follows. And right now we have a bureaucracy. We have generals who are basically bureaucrats, and they're decorated and they look great, but they don't know what to do when things don't go their way. And if you don't know what to do when things do not go your way, you're going to end up on the bottom of the scrap heap. We have a way out of this. And the guys on the line know the way. There are people in businesses right now that know the way. But we have the same problem. We have the same promoted incompetence who know how to make great grades in college, who know how to promote themselves and kiss up. They don't know what to do when things aren't going their way. And right now, folks, things ain't going our way. We need to start turning this ship around. Y'all have a wonderful day.